What is going on, guys? My name is Dave. We have a very, very special show for you because we have a very, very special friend. You've asked for it, and here he is. This is my boy, the man, the legend, Dani himself. Dani, how are you doing today?
I'm all good. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here, brother. We are glad to see your process. We're glad that we finally get to have this show together. I know I did an interview with you. You guys are more than welcome to look at that interview or watch that interview at a later time. We did an interview with Dani. I consider him not only a friend, but a mentor of mine. And now he's a mentor to many in this channel. So yeah, we really appreciate you being here. This show is going to be a little different than what you guys see at night. You might have some silences. I know it sounds crazy, but you might get a few silences out of me. I won't be talking nearly as much. We're going to be going through our process. I think I have a very similar process to Dani, and what we're going to do is allow Dani to kind of give his thoughts on what some of the stocks that are in play, maybe what the market's looking like. But basically what Dani likes to do is scour the internet, scour the stock market to find the best stocks that are out there. And then from there, he likes to dive a little bit deeper into those stocks, into the fundamentals of those stocks, and see if they are what we consider SIPs or stocks in play. So we're gonna just let this thing ride. And I want to say good morning to everybody out there. Dan, Bob, Dan, the greatest moderator alive, is in the building. What's going on, Dan? Predator, what's going on? Yeah, I appreciate you guys. I said 9 a.m. I'm so used to 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. technically, but yeah, 8 a.m. and we are here, baby. So good morning, guys. Thank you for pointing that out for me. Beef Stewie's in the building. What's going on, Beef Stewie? Senpai, Jolene, beautiful Jolene is here. Jimmy Bright and Kevo Plablan out there. Buenos dias, he says, out there in the warm weather. Good morning, guys. It's good to see you. All right, Dani. Oh, what's up? Jordan Cruz is in here too. All right, Dani, I got a few that I'd like to throw your way, and maybe we can just chat about those. So the few that I have is, and I didn't dive deep into these yet, so I'm completely kind of just throwing these out there. I got KV.
Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, you want me to share my screen to you, or just give you the ticker?
Oh, you can just share your screen to me, so I will see that what you will have, and I can see that. Excellent.
So we have
Wonderful.
KVYO. It's gapped up over all of its moving averages. If I bring up KVYO on this and we look at the earnings here, I like this beat, the surprise on earnings of 53%. It's not your 100, but if they have a double beat on surprise and they've gapped up over all the moving averages here. They are into a little bit of resistance where they did not clear this high of day, but I wanted to point KVYO to you to see what you thought about that one.
Actually, I'm just looking at this for first time.
Yeah.
I like that it's a fresh stock, that its IPO was in last year.
Okay.
And it's been in downtrend. That's like positive.
Okay.
But the tricky part in this, what I see immediately, is that it has exceeded the expectations every single time. Like, as you can see, like every time. So on the first time, it exceeded for 75% for its earnings. But the thing is, what's interesting me here is that during last times when it had positive earnings, it didn't gap up that much.
Okay.
Like if you see, it straight up fell on the first time in November. It just fell. After that, it gapped even lower.
Yeah, 75%.
And in March,
that fell.
Yeah, in March, it also fell immediately. So I think, so they got some few upgrades. It's like 33 is the target. That's like pretty good always. It doesn't matter like what's the price target, but I do like to see some analyst upgrades
just
also.
For the psychology of it. You're not actually going off of what analysts are
No,
saying. You're just
definitely
trying
not.
to say,
No, it's
hey,
like just definitely not. But it's like a bonus for me because I know that hedge funds do subscribe to these analysts. I don't know, ratings. So I know that that will pick their probably to their radars.
Okay.
So therefore, I think it could be a good one.
Okay.
At least a SIP, at least a stock in play.
Okay, cool. So we have KVYO as a possible stock in play here. Of course, we want to see volume when this thing comes in first thing in the morning, or it's just going to be, well, it's not going to be a stock in play if we don't get volume. Another one that I wanted to bring up to you, actually, let's leave that one out, is LUMN. If you look at LUMN on a 5-minute time frame, it's got this beautiful flagging pattern here, and then in the pre-market open, it's held this flagging pattern. It's still just trading sideways. I have my alert set at 686. This is an intraday trade, guys, for me. And you can see I've taken this once before back here. Get this accumulation phase as it breaks up higher. Actually, Dani, you called this one out for me. I made a nice, I think I made about $480. I made about 9.8 R on this trade, guys. So that was a nice trade. And then they had earnings, so we had to cut the trade because earnings is a gamble for me personally. And after earnings, it created this beautiful flagging pennant over 2 days. And I wanted to know your thoughts on this, Dani, if you don't mind.
I really do like it because it's like very tight right now.
Sure.
The issue is that the Lance B from S&P Capital pointed that their free cash flow is somehow false in their opinion, so it couldn't be that high, which people got so hyped about at first.
Okay.
No, dilution is probably not the issue over here.
Well,
I don't think that's like the main concern.
If they don't have a good free cash flow, eventually they're probably going to want to dilute their company.
No, I mean, they do have a great one, but I'm talking about like exceptional, great level of free cash flow.
Okay.
The thing what interests me here is that it's a company that focuses on fiber, like for fiber cables.
Yeah.
And it's very important for infrastructure. And I was reading that, I don't remember where, but with few very smart people, that in US the infrastructure is lacking these kind of companies.
Correct.
And therefore this could be like SMCI style of trade.
Okay. I really like that.
And also there have been rumors that it could be bought out for $20.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Okay, so would you consider LUMN a stock in play then for today? As
no, it's not a stock in play. It's like there is no catalyst. Stock in play is like an EP, but it's not an EP because it doesn't meet the criteria. So this is like very normal. It's like a breakout trade on hourly. On hourly, I think it looks great.
Let's take a look at the hourly here. Oh, wow, that does look a lot cleaner on the hourly. Okay, now this is what I can get behind. And I love those hourly trades. I absolutely love them. I can get behind that. That's an hourly trend break. We play those all the time in the channel. Okay, and how about you, Dani? What do you got for us today?
For today, I'm not sure about EPs.
Okay.
Because that's almost the only thing that I trade right now during the downtrend market. Because I don't see, or I do play breakout trades also, but honestly, I think I shouldn't, even though I have performed very well with them. But I will look today for ASPN.
ASPN, okay.
ASPN, yeah.
Okay. Let's take a look at ASP.
It has like a good beat.
Okay, so we're checking the earnings beat here, and you guys can see Danny's looking for anything over 100%. That's going to be the best, and Dani also likes to look, and Dani, if I don't get any of your criteria right, just correct me, please. Dani's also looking for a market capitalization under 1 billion. So this looks like it's actually under 2 billion.
Under
Excuse
2
me,
billion.
thank you. So this actually meets his criteria. It's just under 2 billion at 1.41%. And the earnings beat on this is over 100%. This actually has a surprise earnings of 340%, which is really nice. Also, we call this a double beat, where the revenue also beat as well as the earnings. So yeah, that does look really nice.
I want to point out that it's not like for EPs, I will look for such surprise of 100%. So therefore, like some setups are SIPs, stocks in play, because they don't meet the criteria. For example, it could beat only, for example, like 70%. Okay. But I will look at minimum for 50% because it needs the surprise. If there is no surprise, I know that I do not have any edge. And for example, you have the ASPN here open.
I do.
Yeah, so for example here, also what I do, I look for clues, like are the investors, were they scared before the earnings? For example, what are the past move here? Like the past move was like the last day before earnings, it was pretty red.
Yeah.
So like you can clearly see that this is a surprise because
I like that.
It was just selling off pretty hardly with bigger volume.
I really like that you said that. I just learned a little something there because I'm only looking at the beat down, but I like that you're looking at the previous day, because if it is truly a surprise and we have a red day here and it's on a downtrend, that shows the psychology behind the stock. It is a surprise. People are surprised. One thing I don't like about this gap up though, Dani, is it's still below that 50-day moving average, even though it has gapped up, and it's sitting actually right under its 30-day moving average as well. So it hasn't actually gapped up.
Do you know what?
If
it were right now above the 25.50, I wouldn't even take the trade.
Okay.
Like because the beat is not that good. It's good to bring it to perhaps all-time highs.
Sure.
But I wouldn't think that it would have like several dollar, like $5 move above the 30.
Okay.
Because the beat is not that great. There is like not that big surprise. They didn't announce, for example, a partnership or like now our organic EPS growth will grow, for example, like 100 or 100% per year. That would be like crazy, but their margins are still pretty same.
Okay.
And like there is not substantial change in the company's business.
Okay. So you consider this an episodic pivot though still, correct?
No, so definitely not.
Stock in play.
It's stock in play, yeah.
Okay.
Because there is no range. Like for example, if you see the last earnings, there was a clear range. Yes. It was like in an uptrend, but still it was ranging from the past earnings from February.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. So we have ASPN on a stocks in play. What else do you got for us, Dani? Anything for us?
Usually I will scan the stocks in play and episodic pivots like around in 30 minutes.
Okay.
So therefore, I think we should rather go for like previous trades, for example.
I'll be happy.
Or something else before we can come back to these.
Sure. Well, if you have a previous trade in mind, we can bring that up. I do want to remind everybody that initial jobless claims is actually coming out in 15 minutes. And we know the last initial jobless claims really had a pullback in the overall market. So do keep in mind in the pre-market, if you see a big blurb of volatility coming from your ETFs, your S&P 500s, then you are going to, this is your fair warning that in 14 minutes now, initial jobless claims come out. And if it's higher than the forecast, which the forecast is 241,000, if it's any higher than that, I think we're going to see a big sell-off in the market. Now, if this overall news does not get affected so much, that's going to be a bullish catalyst if it comes out in that sense. Okay. Let's, you know what I would like to go over is your serve trade, if you don't mind. But if you have one in mind,
Yeah.
I'm just,
No, it's the best one.
Okay. So I have serve up on our trading platform. And just before we go deep into this, I do want to remind you guys that we are live. So make sure you click this live button. If you take a look at my screen, I'll show you how to do it. If you are not live and you're back here and you're looking at a different time, you click this live button here. It'll bring you right to what we are talking about right here, right now. And of course, guys, you're more than welcome to ask any questions in the chat here. We also have a poll. The question was Black Monday sell-off the bottom of the market? 46% of you say yes. 31% are saying no, we have more pain. And 23% says, who cares? Show the stocks in play. Well, you came to the right place, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already, vote on that poll. And of course, smash that like and subscribe button. If we're bringing you any form of entertainment or if you're learning anything today, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We have a beautiful community. Everyone here has a heart of gold. And if you don't, well, you can see to the door. Anyway, back to the show. Let's go over SERV, which is your boy Dani's, one of his best plays that he has found in the overall market here in the past. That was about 3 weeks ago, wasn't it, Dani? It was about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So what made you find this stock? Was it just the gap up in the pre? What made you?
Yes, it was like the volume. It had in pre-market, it had pretty insane volume. Like, for example, was it like 20 million?
Okay.
And I remember I was in a call with Kobe, and I was just telling him like, hey, I don't see any EPs, but this one stock had like a very nice range. Like if you go on daily and you will see how it acted just before the EP day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, over there, like it was just like ranging. Yes.
Sure.
Because before that, it shows like longer history, but there was another company which was under the same ticker, which got delisted, and therefore your platform is showing like wrong prices. So this was like this was a fresh stock, like for 6 months, I think it was on stock market.
Okay.
So the thing is, no, it came in April. Yeah, in April.
Yep.
So I was just looking at the volume, and it was that big. It was like extremely big. Even though the gap up was like, how much was it? It was 60%. It's like massive.
Yeah.
And therefore, I actually missed the opening of this trade. And therefore, I think I would have just taken at the open of the market. When the market opened, I would have just bought like immediately. But because I missed that, I was just looking at the next moment, let's say. And also what I was looking here was the previous day before the EP. And I was like pretty mad that there was like clear increased volume before the news even came out.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, what the hell? Some Russians probably already know about this. And but that actually, if I see that there is like inside trading just before the EP day, and it's very clear, you will see that there's like relative volume is like 2 times, and there is no news.
Sure.
You will know that, okay, somebody knows something. They're not just buying with millions of dollars this one random stock that has been going down. Like usually that doesn't happen, especially day before. So I was like, okay, this is pretty big. And then I was just waiting patiently for a setup. And because the volume was that big. I took when it retested the lows on the first day
This one right
at
here,
like
4-1.
yeah, it was like at 10 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, so
So
this
I took it
candle
there
here.
on one. Was it on 1 minute or no? It was on first 5 minute green bar. It was at 4:06. Yeah, there around that place I took it. But like even though it was like a monster trade, I would say
So this would be your entry
if I
rate
would have,
around here.
it was the first green candle that tested the lows.
Okay.
Yes.
So this one probably.
Yeah, that one. Exactly that one.
10.05 at around $4. $3.95, $4.
Yeah, my
That's awesome.
stop was at 398. I remember.
Oh, I do remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful.
So, but I wanna clarify. I didn't do my best here because I didn't see the news. If I saw that, I would have had like twice as much size.
I do remember you saying that.
I risked only $250, and it's like for my size, it means that I have failed. Like literally, I shouldn't even take that small risk, but I took it only because the volume was that good, and I saw that it didn't act like a palm stock that will just go up and down, but it was like, how I would say, it looked like very institutional trading type movement before it came tested the lows. And the fact that it didn't even take the lows, I knew that okay, there is like a big buyer if they're not even gonna like let it undercut it.
Sure. Yeah, and there was. It was you. You just wanted to be bigger. No, but that's awesome, man.
Also,
yeah. So a few questions on this. So after you get into this, and I know you don't agree with the way I take my after 2R, but I'm just trying to compress my capital and make as much as I can and advance my capital so I can just constantly compound. Plus, I was kind of born in a bear market, so I'm always in fearful of that pullback. But of course, wanting to get better, when you took this trade, where was your first R multiple? Where did you take, and how much, how many shares did you take out of this when you did?
I will check.
This was an absolutely beautiful trade Dani took here. We've seen his emotion throughout a lot of this, the highs and the lows, trying to hold through all of this. It was a beautiful trade to actually be in our Discord with. And guys, while he is looking that up, I just want to bring up to you, if you guys take a look at my screen, Dan, the greatest moderator alive, has posted right here for you the link tree. If you click the link tree, you can scroll down. You have our YouTube, our Discords right here, and of course, TradingView. If you want to use this amazing platform that you see in front of you today, that we are going over the news, the stock chart analysis, to find out if we have the proper stocks that are in play or for EPs, click this TradingView link right here. It'll take you to my link. The squad here gives you $15 off your first purchase. You don't have to purchase it. It's absolutely free, but if you upgrade to the Essential program, which most of us use, it's only about $15 a month, and your first month, I believe, is free. Your second month is on us. And then, of course, after that, it's only $15 a month, guys. So it's a huge deal. We also have Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, guys, because we are bringing you the best of the best. Dani, what was your what was your first exit price on S&P?
I went full size until 29th of July on Monday until 1 p.m.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Holy shit, dude. Holy shit.
And there I took half size away.
How the hell did you even manage that? What was going through your head exactly? So like I heard the highs and the lows, but I was screaming in my head like, dude, get a piece of this out. Why? What gave you the confidence? What gave you the confidence? How about that?
I had conviction in this. I had like serious conviction in this trade. They have, firstly, it had so many confluences. Like for example, Nvidia bought a stake at this company. No, they already had a small stake, but they added. They took even a bigger position in this company. Okay, that's one. Then they announced that they are doing a partnership. Okay, even greater. Then third, they have a monopoly. So that's like the small tiny robot for Uber Eats that will bring you the stuff home.
Yep.
And I found the only competitor, which was from Estonia, and I actually found one, and I went and I was talking to the people who are using it, and they told me that it's a totally shitty product. So I knew that, okay, if Nvidia and Uber invest in this piece and there is like massive volume, it's like these happen like once or maybe 3 times a year. So I was pretty confident that this will go kind of far. So therefore, I didn't want to take early because I knew that after, for example, trading root, I just tried to not think about where is the top, but I was thinking like, hey, where can I add? But honestly, when it gapped up on day 2, when it gapped up to 14 or 13 something,
yeah,
it was terrible watching it.
$14 even actually before it started to sell off.
Like it was extremely hard to hold the stock till 7.23. It was like really, really hard.
I remember you actually saying that in the chat, like it's hard to watch the sell off. It's hard to see all this.
Like on paper, I think I lost in total, $15,000.
I remember you messaging me and showing me that you were up like $20,000 at one time. And I was so excited for you. I ran out and talked to my wife about it. I was like, Danny's up 20K. Like this boy here. Like I'm really happy to be a part of your journey.
It was only on the second day, but I held it. And when I took my first profits at 18.23, somewhere around there.
Sure.
I took half size away just because it went like over 4 times my initial price. I was like, okay, now I'm taking too much risk, because when the profits increase, the position size also increase. So I had like way too big position at that point.
Okay.
In this one particular stock. So that's why I took half away.
Okay.
And then on the next day, when it gapped even higher, and that's a bad sign. Like I don't like when stock is going up, like for example, EP. I don't like that it will gap up. It's not a good thing. It's not sustainable. So I remember I texted my friend, I can't even find it. But like at first I was happy when it went to 24. I didn't sell it, but then I sold it at 21. Like I had 1,250 shares there. So I sold 750 shares. So I left 500 shares, which I later sold at 1450.
Okay. Well, what a beautiful trade. What an absolute beautiful trade.
I made about 35,000 in that trade.
35,000, around 450% on his biggest piece here, or one of his biggest pieces. I would say your first piece you made about 350%. The second piece roughly around 450%, and then that last piece around 14 at 260%. If that doesn't get you excited for trading, guys, nothing's going to get you excited. Nothing whatsoever. You are a dead soul. A dead soul. I found just for funsies, if you guys look at my screen here, this is the Uber Eats, the Serve robotics that was the catalyst here that NVIDIA actually brought up. So it's a cool little robot. You can see, this food worker comes out, they press the button, they open up the screen, they put it in here. I've seen video of this in our area, and really quick, this just in, guys, this just in. The initial jobless claims just dropped here. Let me put this up on screen for you guys so you can see. The forecast was 241. The previous was 250. We are actually bringing in 233,000. So it's showing that less people are claiming for unemployment currently right now. So that should be a good catalyst for the overall market. Let's take a look at the SPY and see the initial reaction here in the S&P 500. You can see here we get a big bump up here, a big bump up. Maybe we shouldn't call this a big bump up, but the initial reaction is a push higher. As you can see in the S&P 500, we're moving up 0.74%. With the average daily range in the S&P 500 at 1.4%. This is a pretty good move on this news. So we're going to see if this wants to sustain buying power with this great news coming out for less people filing for unemployment. That's going to show more people have a job and less people are going to fear that recessionary type of influx that we had. So you heard it here first, guys. Initial jobless claims data came out less than expected, which should be a positive sign in the overall market. All right. So I think this is about the time you're going to start searching for your episodic pivots and your stocks in play. If I remembered correct, around 8:30.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you're more than welcome to do your thing, man. I'm going to look at the live stream and see what we got popping up here. Let's see.
If there are any questions we can do, or if anybody has any questions, you can ask them. Like,
absolutely, you guys can
if
ask
you have
them
anything or any stock, any like entry, exit, any stuff, you can just ask.
Just blurt it out either in our Discord, which if you guys want to join the Discord, just click on the link tree in the description. You can join our Discord, or you can throw it right up here on the YouTube. You guys are more than welcome to do that. Nalani, good morning. It's good to see ya. Jolene says, I think Serve Robotic should have a D on it for Dani. Maybe we start slapping stickers all over those robotics so everybody knows just who invested. Yeah, so good morning, guys. Good morning. Yeah, you're more than welcome to ask any questions whatsoever. Just to do a quick review, ASPN looks like a stock that's in play. It's still below a lot of these moving averages. We're hoping it can at least stay above this 21-day moving average. I have KVYO as a stock in play here. Possible episodic pivot. I don't have a catalyst for it though, so I need to dive a little bit deeper into KVYO. As KVYO, it has earnings. You can see that it's pushed up. You can see before the earnings day, we had a pull back. Overall, this stock has been on a downtrend and some sideways action. It's a newer IPO. They have quarterly and annually earnings. We went over this a little bit earlier. Let's see what this is in the technology services or packaged software, which you guys know we've had some issues with packaged software, knowing that the software with CrowdStrike took a big hit. A lot of people were missing their flights and couldn't get food, and there was a lot of things going on with hospitals and all that stuff. So Swervo Trade says, explain how you use anchored view up for your entries and stop losses. So if you have time for that, Dani, we can go over that.
Yeah. I don't particularly use them for stop losses.
Okay.
Like, if I would use them as stop losses, I would say that I have already missed the biggest move. Like, because for the price to come back to the VWAP, it would mean that it would have fallen a lot. So that's why I try to sell partials to strength, like I did in Serve, like the first partial. And then I will try to see, for example, I will try to find an example here. Usually I just sell like after 3 days in uptrend, and then I will trail with 10-day moving average. But for example, I ran IREN. For example, I will see if I will find my entry here. Yeah. David, can you take IREN?
I have IREN up on the trading view.
Yeah, I will find you the time. Can you go on 5 minutes?
I sure can. Here you go. Zoom out here for you. This is all the data I have for 5 minute though, unfortunately. Oh.
Yeah, it's fine.
There we go.
I will just see when was the earnings. Earnings was 15th. Yeah, so you can go on 15th and put VWAP on the first candle of no, it's 16th. Yeah.
16th. Okay,
Put a VWAP on 16th. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, right here. Hang on, let me see. I gotta find the 16th here. All right. So here's the 16th. Right. Well, I got the 17th and the 14th. So the 16th must have been I'm sorry.
No, it's just the earnings day.
Oh, the earnings
not
day?
that
Oh,
one.
sure,
Earlier.
sure.
Yeah, it was you can see it. It's on the left. It's on the left. It's like even more.
Oh, right here. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
121%
So for example,
surprise.
Yeah, 121% surprise. That was good. But like I just put VWAP on that day on the first 5 minutes.
All right, anchored VWAP has been pulled.
Yeah, so now you can see there is like if you will just zoom into that one.
Yeah, sure.
The first day. Yeah, so there you can see there is like a small triangle from the maybe is it like at 10 o'clock?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yep. It
from
ends
there.
on 10:20.
And then, yeah, I remember I took that trade when it undercut. I didn't take the first bar that undercut it.
Okay.
Because I would have liked to see some more sideways action.
Okay.
But I didn't see it. That's why I didn't take the first one. But I took the second one a little bit to the right. The big green candle that undercut the VWAP. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
So I remember I took my IREN trade over there, and I put when it already went a little bit higher. It was like 555 maybe my stop. Yeah.
Okay.
555. And I remember my stop was somewhere around 540.
Okay. Here's your 5.
I could have done it like below the bar, as I usually do. Like these, when the bar undercuts the VWAP, as it did here. And also it did break the triangle, if you will just draw the line.
Sure.
Like, yeah, from there over there. Yeah, that's how I looked at it. So that's like a very high risk reward trade if you will put your stop underneath the 5 minute bar. I know it sounds crazy and it's against everything you probably have been taught, but I like to combine these very sniper style entries with swing trading, because if I can find these small stops, then I can just put like a lot of money in line. Like I can easily do 30% position in the beginning if it goes my way, and because my dollar risk is not that big.
Sure.
It's like quite small. I remember I had a smaller account back then, but I remember I put, was it also 2,500 shares? And so I also got pretty good gain in that one.
Look at this, guys. If you're not watching my screen, watch this zoom out here. So he has this beautiful bull flag or pennant, whichever you want to call it, and you can see the anchored VWAP is getting pulled from the earnings, which the earnings had 121% surprise, a double beat with the revenue as well moving higher. And you guys
but before you go, you also need to show the daily. The daily was the most important thing also here.
Sure. So here's the daily, and you can
Yeah,
see that.
so you
Oh,
can just
wow.
draw the line from
Yeah, I see it.
April
Oh, I
to
see.
from April to there was like a very very clean.
Look at that, guys.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So that was like what I was looking at because it had. I'm trying to look like for several things that would actually drive the stock up. It's not enough that it has like a cool pattern and it will just break it. I need like a thing that will actually drive it further. And here it had like a good beat. And also, not only that, but I went a little bit deeper into the company and Iran didn't hold any Bitcoin. And the miners that did hold Bitcoin, they were going down. So I was like happy with this company that it was very undervalued, clearly, because like it didn't belong to the Bitcoin hype, so it didn't go up with Bitcoin, but
Yeah.
it did have like very efficient mining style with AI twist. So, and it was growing a lot, and also it had like a big surprise with big relative volume. It had like a very large volume in the first half an hour. So that's why I had like big conviction to take this trade. And you can just put like 10-day moving average and you can see that it didn't even violate it. Like if you will just sell it to the strength like after like 4 days, that's like my rule. I will sell after 4 days and you will exit at 12 something. I paper handed this, to be honest. I wasn't that good. I sold it earlier. I didn't hold it to 12. I held my last partial to 10 because I was so sure it doesn't go higher.
Higher than it's
But you
higher than
can,
this.
yeah, but you cannot just fool the moving averages. It will go higher.
Yeah, as it did. But that's a beautiful
Yeah.
trade. I mean, you can't really argue here if you sold it at that 10. You're still making 73%, people. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And this is why we like following Dani. We like following these trades. And this is the exact reason why. And this is just an absolute beautiful trade here. Let me zoom back in on this. As you guys can see, he's trying to show you this sniper trade that he had right here. We looked at the daily where it showed the same flagging, the same trend break setup, and then you zoom in after earnings catalyst breaking out above that daily trend break. Then he is pulling an anchored VWAP off of this right here, and you can see the anchored VWAP getting pulled off this area. You can see it creates this area of resistance here, and you can see it can't get above it, can't get above it. Every time it does, it gets shoved back down. And then bada bing, bada boom, we are starting to make some money really soon. And if I just zoom out on this, guys, you guys can just see, you know, it gets crazy here. It gets crazy. What a beautiful move. And yeah.
But I think the most important thing here is that you should have your exit plan in advance, because you will not, how I would say, because we're human, we will have like expectations. Like for example, you will hope. Do you guys remember when I was saying like, hey, SERV will go to 40? I actually really believe that in one point, and I still do. But I need to remember, it doesn't matter if it will go to 40. I will rather focus on good setups with small risk. Like I can wait. If the serve will just go from here, it's fine. Okay, I would take it actually above the 18. It's pretty tight right now.
Yeah.
But if it were not tight, I would just let it go, because I know that, okay, if I will catch it to 40, it doesn't matter if it goes to 40 or not if I don't have size. The size is the most important thing here, that you will get your risk reward in like that you will actually get some profit from it. It doesn't matter if I will put like 1,000 shares in it. I don't care if I will make like 100% move, but if I would earn, I wouldn't say that little, but I should be putting much more size if I know or if I am sure about that. So I will combine like good size, small risk, and good setup.
Beautiful. Well said, sir. I really appreciate that. I like that you're bringing that up. There's no point in holding on to the bigger expected move if you don't do it on size. We have to pay ourselves into it, so why not let the stock set up again? You can use and allocate that money while you're waiting for it to set up, and then when it does set up, you put size back on. I really like that. I like the thought of it as well. So thank you for.
And also, during this time that I have sold all of my position out of SERV, I have already made like a bunch of money with other stocks in place. For example, like very easy, you can put POWL.
Yep.
Powell Industries.
Yep.
Like that was one of the recent plays.
Recent and this was stock in play, right? This wasn't.
Yeah, this was stock in play. It had like a good earnings. It gapped up. The issue, and it had a small float under 2 billion market cap, so everything was kind of aligning.
Yeah.
The thing was here, what I didn't like was the very large first 1 minute candle. You can go on 1 minute.
Sure.
And yeah, the first one to the. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
So I wasn't gonna take it. The high of the first candle was 170 and the low was 161, around that. So I wasn't gonna take like $10 risk in that one. It would have been like stupid waste of my time and my brain power. Yeah. So I entered right at when it broke the 170, I got filled maybe 171, and then I got, hey, let's go back to my stop. Yeah, so I put my stop just beneath the bar that broke it. So my stop was 166. Yeah, over there, just below that one.
Okay.
166, yeah,
right here.
0.0. Yeah, okay. I put it there, and then you can go to 5 minute sure. time frame, because I will take partials at 10 hour. So you can already calculate if my entry was 171 and my stop was 166, I need to get $50 move in order to take partials. Sure. And it didn't happen, of course. So I will go on 5 minutes, and then I will put 50 moving average, 50 okay. period moving average. And then I did sell partials to the double top when it broke it. It was like 185. I took my half, okay. 185 at first. And then I sold my second half when it broke the 50-day. But I also used pre-market data. So it was 183 when it broke it. So if you will put extended hours also, it was 183.
I actually do see that on mine, that you broke. I guess it's showing here 180, 189.
Yeah.
But I can see it breaking here at 182.54 or 183. So very nice. This is my 50. Yeah, 50.
So that's like one of my styles, what I do and how I take profits.
I like it.
On stock in place.
I have a quick question for you. Are you still holding anything from UPST?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Okay, because that was a.
How does it look like?
What's that?
Yeah. In stock in place, I always sell them intraday.
Okay, I wasn't.
I don't see
sure
the point of holding them. Yeah,
sure.
Because we're in downtrend. I know that my odds are not that good. If it's not like a small stock, I would say under 500 million or even 1 billion.
Yeah.
Then it's less impacted by the indices. So then, for example, SERV, I would glad to take it again. So, but for example, UPST, it has like 3 billion market cap. So
Okay.
it is impacted by the markets.
I was keeping an eye on AFRM when UPST took off because that's a sister stock to it. They usually move in hand, but they didn't so much. They did a little bit, but AFRM sold off very hard, very fast before UPST started to sell off. So it was very interesting to see.
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be very interesting to see if LUMN is my favorite intraday stock. If this thing can break out on volume in this area, I really would like to play this. I think this would be another good play.
I just don't like the intra plays right now.
No?
I don't like breakouts.
Oh, okay.
I just don't like breakouts right now.
Yeah.
Because it's not like the best market for it right now.
Sure, yeah, being in a downtrend and having resistance just overhead.
But LUMN has like insane short positions too. I know like some big players are shorting it too.
Okay. One way that you guys can see the short position is you can go to finviz.com and you can type in the ticker. So in this case, we're looking at LUMN.
But it's not correct. You should not even look at it.
Really? Is it that bad here?
No, it's just delayed for 2 weeks. And the shit started like 2 days ago, so they haven't got updated it.
Really? Is that true?
Yeah, it is. Wow. They don't have to file it every day. It's like, it's not even maybe, it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I'm not sure which one is it. You can put like how often short float should be updated or reported.
Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah, but you can see like generally if there hasn't happened
twice
anything.
A month. FINRA requires brokerage firms to report short interest positions for all their customers and proprietary accounts and equity securities only twice a month. Wow.
Yes.
So unless you're paying for, well, even if you're paying for up-to-date.
No, you will not know.
You're still getting 2 weeks behind. So there's almost no real point in looking that up. Wow. That's mind-boggling.
Yeah, it is.
As of right now, the S&P 500 sits at 523. We'll just say 523. This is looking really, really good. Guys, if you remember yesterday, I pointed out our areas of resistance. Our first area of resistance that we need to get through is this 524.63, which we're starting to bear on into. I told you I have a few different biases with the overall market direction. Holding these new higher lows is pretty pinnacle in the overall biasy in trying to hold this low of 508 or 510 for the market open hours. So if it can get up and through this 524, I think the next stop that we're going to see is around that 530. So we'll see if the initial jobless claims data can get us ramping and going. But as I was talking to Dani before we came on the market, he is, and you know, I'd have to agree with him. Of course, we're always rooting for the market to go higher. We always want to see your 401ks, your Roth IRAs, and everything like that going well. Just for the sake of everyone that is retired or trying to retire, we always want to see people prospering from the overall market. But as a swing trader, if we are to come back, we wouldn't mind seeing the overall S&P 500 heading much lower here, so that way we can set up for more in the very near future. So there could be bigger pullback, of course, but we have some resistance to kind of get through in these areas. So we have ASPN, keeping an eye on that. It's sitting at $23 right now. KVYO, which I'm really liking here. I really like KVYO. It's now broke up above its previous high, above all moving averages. And I just want to go back.
But the volume is miserable.
Yeah, I was just going to look that up right now. And I don't know if this is...
I also like the setup, but I'm just thinking slippage is,
It's also
or
6
spread is
billion.
right now.
6 billion market cap as well.
Yeah, but spread is 35 cents.
Sure.
It's okay, but it's just enables me to go big size with small risk.
Yeah.
But it does look pretty good actually. I think in these situations where it just gaps up at the resistance, it's either it will go straight up or it will go down and then it will try to break it to the upside.
Okay. Kind of shake out some people before heading higher.
Yeah.
I like the look of it. I like the structure. We got this big downtrend, like you pointed out earlier, a newer IPO.
Me too.
It's broken now. It's broken that downtrend and has gapped up over all of its major resistance area. I guess I should look at the volume when I say that. Yeah, it's broken above all of its major areas of resistance. I guess the last piece of resistance is going to be just right here in this area where it's sitting. So we could get some initial sell-off on this. Kind of just how you said, it's going to break up, break back down, and then break through. Which would remind me of your trade from yesterday on UPST, actually. UPST broke up, broke back down. If I'm remembering it right, on the 5-minute, it broke up. Yep, it broke up, it broke back down, and then it broke back to the north side. So that's kind of like the same UPST in play kind of chart there. Yeah, but I like KVYO. I think I might give this a shot in the morning if we can get some volume like you explained. The volume's pretty shit right now. Let's see, the pre-market volume. Yeah, guys, the pre-market volume I'm showing is only 25,000 shares. So that's garbage. So we would, in order to like to kind of blend in an episodic pivot through Chris Kolamagi, he wants to see a lot of volume in that either pre-market or at market open. He wants to see a lot of volume coming in there. I don't have the exact numbers, but I think he wants to see, what is it, 3 times the average, the 30-day average volume coming in or something like that.
Yeah, he prefers that, but it happens pretty rarely.
Dan Bob has said, join us live on YouTube at 9 p.m. Eastern for our new show. It's the Bull Bear Brief and the News Market Review. Tonight we will be going over some of the coolest news that actually I know some of the news that I'm going to be talking about. It's not really cool. It's actually scary. So I think this is a big reason why I stay away from the news. But tonight we're going to be doing the Bull Bear Brief tonight. We're also going to have some news catalysts we're going to bring to you. It's a new type of show that we're doing tonight, so that way we're not doing the same old thing. We'll go over the overall S&P 500 to show you where we're at, and then we're going to smack you with some awesome news catalysts that you might think is pretty nifty neato. So we hope that you join us tonight at 9 p.m. If you are your first time here, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We bring you the best stock market show. We listen to you. If you want changes, we make changes. If you want something new, we bring it, baby. And today, you asked for the one, the only, Dan the Man, our 3-star Degen. He is the boss house, and he is here with us today. So I'm glad that he could make it with us. If you guys have any questions for us, make sure you type it in the chat. Or, of course, if you're a part of our Discord, you can post it in our Discord. So far, we've had an absolutely awesome day today. We've been bringing up a few trades that might be stocks in play, like ASPN. You can see this isn't an episodic pivot, but it's trying to hold above the majority of its moving averages. This might have a nice catalyst to move a little higher. I also found KVYO. We're looking for volume to come into the stock. If we can get some volume, this might be a beautiful mover. I also have SAVA. If you guys weren't aware, Sava Sciences, which is an absolute shit ticker. They've been diluting their company for quite some time, but we're not trying to marry these stocks. We're just trying to... Oh, this is Sava, S-A-V-A. I'm just bringing this up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because this might set up in the near future, guys. So I'm not looking at getting into this today, But if we make something like this a trend, and we could do something like this and let the 10-day moving average catch up, then eventually we break to the north side. That would be a beautiful looker. This is just something I'm keeping an eye on. We also just had its earnings come out today, so this is just a stock on watch. Also, we're looking at LUMN. I like LUMN. We are obviously well above all the moving averages here. I just like it because it's setting up an hourly trend break base to the north side. This is the 5-minute, but it's also setting it up on the hourly. If this thing can get to rip tater chip to the north side, you know, I would love to see this thing head much higher. So we will see very soon if that wants to take off. And I'm just keeping an eye on UPST to see what it kind of does here. I'm expecting further sell-off today just because I don't believe in this stock. You know, of course, I have a bias-y towards it. I think it's a shit ticker. I don't think the buy now, pay later is really going to work out. I think it's the, you know, if anything, it's going to be the credit cards that do that. And there's already plenty. It's already very saturated. So long term, I don't think this is going to take off. But short term, you know, you never know what's going to happen in this volatile market. So we'll see very soon. Do you have anything else that's on your watch list there, Danny boy?
No, actually, I was just looking like it's looking pretty boring.
Pretty boring. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 then, and let's see where we are sitting, guys. So it looks like that initial jobless claims news catalyst did push us up. Remember, the area that we pointed out yesterday is that 524.50-ish area. If it gets up into this area, which looks like it's trying to bear into it, I am expecting some initial pullback as a reaction. Of course, I would like to see the overall S&P 500 hold these areas and head higher, so that way we can start buying up some stocks with a, obviously I'm waiting for a follow-through day. If we cannot get that follow-through day, that's a-okay. We head on lower, we start making up some money in the near future after a bigger pullback, and we can start setting up on better time frames. We also, while we are just kind of chit-chatting here, go ahead and take a look at my screen. This is what we call self-preservation. If you guys could do me a huge favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's your first time here. Welcome guys. Go into the link tree, which is just down here, and click on TradingView. TradingView is an awesome platform. It gives you a lot of easy access to your fundamentals, to your stock charting. It's what I use on a daily charting platform. You use my link, you'll get $15 off. And of course, guys, we have a poll here. We already have 18 votes on the poll. The question was Black Monday's sell-off the bottom in the market? 39% of you say yes, it's blue skies from here, baby. We are only heading up from here. 33% say no, we have more pain to come, meaning you're expecting it to go lower. And 28% of you say, who cares? Show the stocks in play. Beautiful, guys. I absolutely love seeing that. We're actually going to give just a few more minutes here, and we're going to end this poll. So if you haven't already, make sure you vote on that poll. All right, so back to the show, guys. We have the S&P 500 bearing in on this 524 area. We are expecting a pullback after it smacks into this. So if you're looking to short something, maybe gather your stocks, get figured out what you are looking to play. If you're looking to long, well, make sure that you're in the right stocks that aren't going to be so much a catalyst with the S&P 500 bearing down into those. So we have KVYO. We know that this stock is a bigger stock. KVYO has 6.11 billion in this stock, and ASPN, if we take a little peeky gander at that, is a 1.41 billion. So this is going to move much easier. It's going to gradually move much easier because it's going to take less capital for it to be moved. And if you want to understand that a little bit better, we click on more financials, and you can see the free float shares right here is only 74 million, meaning the free float, meaning the available shares for people like you and myself can actually trade, is only 74 million shares. So when you're looking at market caps like this and you're trying to understand how easily something can move, when you look at their free float and you look at how many shares they actually have for you and I to trade, the smaller the float, the faster they move. And you will see that it stands very, very true, where if you look at something like NVIDIA, which is a big trillion-dollar company, and we look at the financials in this, you can see the free float is 23 billion, meaning it's going to take much more capital to move this rather than something smaller like an ASPN when it only has 73 million shares to make this move. So keep that in mind, guys, when you're looking at something like this. That is where the average daily range is actually going to come in. You're going to see ASPN, because it's a smaller float, it's going to move faster with an average daily range of 6.85%, where a NVIDIA, a big boat of a stock, is only, well, actually NVIDIA is actually showing, which is really surprising, guys. It moves 6.38% as well, but we also have to understand that this is a leader. Maybe we should bring up like an Apple or something like that that's been around and not up in these prices for so long, and that's 2.83%. So it's a much slower mover on such a big stock, but still being a trillion-dollar company, 2.8% is still pretty fast for this big boat of a stock as well. So keep that in mind, guys. All right, it is 9 o'clock. We only are going to be open for absolute certain until right before market open, guys. So if you have any questions, make sure that you ask them in chat. Dan, Bob, Dan, the greatest moderator alive, has asked Dani, with all your success, how large of an ice palace do you live in?
Actually, you guys won't even believe how small my apartment is. My apartment is only 500 square feet.
Wow.
But I also own partially a summer house, which I like. So here it's pretty normal if you live in city center that you will have a small apartment and then you will have a summer house. It's like pretty basic Finnish lifestyle. One bedroom apartment.
One bedroom apartment. That is very small, but you are without children, so I don't see why you would need anything bigger than that right now, to be very, very honest.
No, I love this. I love this a lot.
I have 3 children, 2, 13, and 10, and we are always talking. 12 or 11. I don't want to get his, you know how ages are with kids. So 13, 11, and 2. He's going to bust in the door like, I'm 11, Dad. No, awesome boys. And we have rooms for everybody in here. We live in a very, very big house. But I'm already talking to the wife like, man, could you imagine how much we could sell this place for once the kids leave this house? We're selling this place and we are going to downsize to like a 500 or 600 square foot house. But of course, I want my barn. So, I got a 64 by 30 barn. If I move into a smaller house, I still want a big ass barn. You know what I mean? So I'm a little conflicted with that, but there's no need for living sizes. A bigger house doesn't make you happier, but a big yard does. I want a big area and with woods. A 500 square foot house with a humongous barn and probably 10 acres of woods, I think would be ideal for me personally. So. But hey, really quick, if you don't mind me switching the subject here, AXGN Covey brought up. I think we should take a look at it. I think this is a pretty nice looking stock. AXGN. AXGN.
Yeah, I heard about this in one chat room.
So I'm going to bring up AXGN on mine, and if we look at the earnings, you guys can see they have a double beat. On the earnings surprise is 178%. The revenue was a over 10% beat, so it's a double beat here. It's pushed up in the pre-market right up into an area of resistance. So this could be a negative factor for all of this. We would like to see these things push up over all of these big areas of resistance, but yet that still might not deter this from being a good stock. So what do you say, Dani?
I think it's like a 3-star stock in play. It's like pretty fine. If they were expecting 43 million revenue and they got 48, it's pretty big. Like, I mean, it is kind of big, but I think here is that they raised their forecast for this year from 182 million to 186. So they raised it for $4 million. And if you look at this, how much they now surprised, they surprised with also $4 million. So it means it happened only once. So you cannot expect that it would happen again, that their growth is somehow going up. So they could have got like one-time extra sales in last quarter. So it might go, but I don't have enough catalyst for this one.
Okay.
It's trading well. I mean, the volume is fine. It is like 6 million usually. The volume, dollar volume, I meant.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
But if it breaks 11, it could be actually. I could even consider. It depends so much how the intraday price action works. So I think I even could possibly take a low risk trade if it pulls back nicely to Viva, for example.
Okay. Yeah, you like those.
Thank you.
Trades.
Thank you, Colby, for this. It didn't appear on my scan. Probably the pre-market volume was so low.
I have it on my tentative earnings watch list as a gap up here, but I don't necessarily think that this was on here at first. ASPN does look like it's starting to ramp up a little bit. Looks like the chart looks a little bit cleaner, so the volume looks like it might start coming in here, so that's nice.
Yeah, but the spread is incredibly large. It's 80 cents. I couldn't take any.
Yeah. No, I'm actually surprised that you look at trades in pre-market. Why do you look at the spread so much in pre-market?
Because it's all about the volume. If the volume is low, then the spread goes higher.
Perfect.
And you can indicate if the spread is 80 cents here, it will be also high in regular market. Like in regular market, I will tolerate, for example, what I would say, 15 cent spread. Okay. That's fine. But it also messes up my risk, because you always need to calculate your risk plus spread. So only here, like I would instantly, if I would put even 1,000 shares, I would instantly lose $800 with this spread. Okay. And that's I don't want to take bigger size than $800. So my risk could be like 10 cents plus the spread.
Okay.
If theoretically it would stay this high. I don't believe it would stay this high, but also because it's so high, it's hard to think that, okay, there would be big institutions buying up this stock if in pre-market it looks like this.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, the volume is so low. Even though it's like pretty low price stock, like $24, I see the volume bars are a little bit pathetic. Comparing to like
brought up.
Yeah.
GTHX. I think I can handle this one. So GTHXB Stewie, without looking at the surprise or anything, it's just barcoding. So it's a therapeutic stock. It obviously got a huge investor and then just traded sideways. So it's there's nothing going on with the stock at this moment. If we even look at the 1 minute and I zoom in just on this area, you can just see that this is what we call a barcode. So GTHX, if you look at this, there's no volume on this, and this is a great stock for an example of a barcode. It looks exactly like a barcode. There's nobody buying or really selling in this area. I got one big investor and maybe some other people, and then it's barcoding now. So this is a barcode. Beautiful example of that. So no problem, Stewie, for sure. One thing I didn't look up was my gapper scanner. The gapper scanners for today, there's not much going on. I only have one on my small float gapper scanner, WENA, but it's not even worth you wasting your time looking it up, which is surprising. That's not a good sign when you don't have any gappers.
Yeah, it's not.
Um,
I just need like high volume stock with which has like a good catalyst, and then it would act nicely around the VWAP.
sure.
That's what I really want.
Beautiful. Well, it's about 15 minutes till market open. I'm going to go ahead and end this poll, guys. We had 18 votes today on the poll. The poll was Black Monday sell off the bottom? Was Black Monday sell off the bottom in the market? 38% of you say yes. 33% say no. That is a good mixture there, guys. I really like that. I'm glad we have some separation, because usually we are all on the same page. So I'm happy to see that the poll was a bit diverse there. We also had 27% say, who cares? Show the stocks that are in play. Well, the stocks that we have in play, we have AXGN, ASPN, KVYO, and LUMN. Those are ones that I want you to keep on your watch list, guys. Those are the stocks that we are watching ourselves. But with the overall market and it being kind of sluggish, today is not the best day for trading. I think Dani can agree with me on that. What do you say, Dani? You agree with me on that?
Not the best agree totally with you.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that we could do this, Dani. I think I had an absolute blast with you. And, if you would like to do this once a week, I would love to be here to do it. What do you say? Putting you on the spot online.
I think I will try my best to come in once in a while. Let's say that.
Yeah, I like that, man. I like that.
Yeah.
We really appreciate your knowledge and your wisdom that you're helping us out. Of course, I tell you this all the time to your face, but I'm going to tell you on air. I really appreciate being a part of your journey, watching your ups and downs, but mostly I like watching your ups, obviously. We always want to see our friends succeed. So congratulations to you on your big win yesterday, and thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you.
Take care, brother.
It was great. I will go back to trade.
All right, man. Yeah, we'll see. We'll catch you in the Discord. So thank you guys so much for joining. And I will see you guys on the way out. Just stay for the outro. $1,400 in less than 2 hours. Huge shout out to Dani. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Beef Stewie, thank you so much for being here, brother. Jolene, thank you so much. Dan, Bob, Dan, the greatest moderator alive. Of course, Swervo, beautiful question that you had there on the explanation of anchored VWAP. I'm glad that we could go over that. Nalani, good morning. Good morning, Norman. Thank you so much for joining us, brother. Thank you guys so much for being here. Senpai, it is awesome to see you in here. Kevel Blon, Jordan Cruz. We had a Predator in the building today. I mean, we had a full house, guys. I appreciate everybody's dedication to this channel. I appreciate everybody showing up and giving Dani, a welcoming ear, and we could all learn a little something from him today. So thank you guys so much for joining up. We will see you, Jimmy. Yes, you're quite welcome, fine sir. We'll see you guys in the Discord. And thank you guys so much for being a part of this. I'm glad that I could do a nice market morning open. We're going to try and do a couple more mornings each day. That way we can keep on keeping on. We are driving towards all of our goals of becoming better traders. Thank you guys so much. And if you're watching this at a later time, join up. We got an awesome family awaiting for you in the Discord. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.